All right, Shalom. We are the Hebrew Israelites. We come out here week in, week out to prophesy the downfall of America, to let the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans know that you are the true children of Israel according to the Bible. To let the so-called white man know that he is Esau according to the Bible, that America is Babylon, Sodom and Egypt, and it will be destroyed in the Third World War, which is a nuclear war. Alright, so with that being said, I give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. The bodies are our apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity. So like I said, America will be destroyed in the Third World War, which is soon to come. If you've been paying attention to the news, if you've been reading articles and really just paying attention to what's going on around the world, giving a spiritual eye to things, you can see that it's plain. Matter of fact, before you get that, you get Habakkuk 2. The Bible says that there's a time and a season for everything. So the time and the season that's coming is going to be a time for war, a time for endurance, a time for us to, really it's going to be a time that's going to challenge everybody. So you have to so-called be on your best behavior in these scriptures and putting your best foot forward so that you can be protected in that day. But we're going to get these scriptures right here real quick.
Yeah. It's the book of Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved.
That's right. So we're standing on the watch right now. Okay, we're watching for the people. All right, to give you the news so that you know what's going on. We're also watching for ourselves, and I lost my train of thought. Go ahead. Oh, read that one more time.
Watching the tower, watching the news.
Yeah, so we're watching the prophecies. That's what we're watching the prophecy. That's what we're watching. Okay, so we're watching the prophecies. We read it in the spirit, or we read it in the scriptures, and through the spirit, we come out here and we break it down for you. Okay, give you the real news, not the fake news, not that CNN, not that Fox News. What's really going on?
Yeah, we ain't talking about no fucking spicy chicken sandwiches and I mean, we're talking about the wildfires, but it's just not that generic bland news. Alright?
It says, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables that he may run that readeth.
That's right, make it plain upon tables. Break it down. Okay, don't use all these big words like polite. You don't want to use 27 syllable words that you gotta go and look up and you don't understand what he's saying when he's speaking it to you. We're taking the hard to be understood mysteries from the Bible and we're making it plain for you. We're breaking it down so that you can easily understand it.
For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie.
That's right, that vision is the prophecies. It's for the set and appointed time. At some point in time, this is going to happen. At a point in time, that's going to happen. We're telling you that this and that. We don't know when it's going to happen, but you can use the surrounding information that the scripture is given and compare it to what's actually going on today, and you can have a guesstimated time. You can know what time of season it is. That's what we're going to go into in the Ezra.
Just to add, in the gospel, it tells you, when the east wind comes, so all these different signs upon the earth. But when you have the salvation that's near them when we believe, it's right in front of your face. We see, like the mother said, different context clues, different prophecies coming to pass, different things that Esau's doing. You see these things coming to pass, and you know that it said when you see these things, that's when they end it. That's when I'm on my way back. It says, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come and will not tarry.
That's right. It may seem like it's taking a long time for this process to happen, but this is a process that must happen fully. Okay, you can't just skip around and jump prophecies. Everything has a time and a season and a point of time. If dominoes are falling, you can't take one domino out and move it around. It's gonna mess up the algorithm. All these dominoes are supposed to fall and hit each other one by one by one by one by one. That's the way the Lord set it up. It is His movie, it's His program. It's not gonna be just because you want it to happen quickly or because you don't want it to happen at all.
Second Ezra chapter 9 verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which He made.
That's what we were just talking about in the last precept. Measuring the time diligently. Getting the surrounding information. Learning, first off, learning what the prophecies are. Now, that can only come by reading. That can only come by doing your homework. Watching video, getting breakdowns, getting an understanding of the scriptures well enough so that you know what to look for. And once you know what to look for, now you got to get your tools. What are your tools? Your tools are RT News, of course the Brotherhood, some of these so-called YouTube whistleblowers, like a Dabu 7 or something like that. Actual good news. AMTV News, that's a good channel. Things that's gonna give you the straight skinny, not that fluff. Knowing what to look for, Google searches. I do a lot of Google searches of keywords around prophecy, centered around prophecy, RFID chip news. China, Iran, World War III, doing stuff like that is gonna get you the news that you wanna get to.
Yeah, that's how the word of the Most High got spread across the four corners of the earth. Because the gospel just means good news, you know, which is the ultimate news, you know. And it's through the unicorn. Everything that brother was saying, all it goes back to what? The unicorn, which is the internet.
It says, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world.
Kind. Oh, go ahead. Finish that.
Which He made.
Right. Then you'll know that it's the time that YAHAWASHI is about to make his move. Because you'll be like, oh wow, they're making that move. They're trying to do this with the chip. The chip is a major prophecy. Really, it's like that last domino. But you can see them setting up the laws. You can see them maneuvering to set up this one world government. To crash the economy, martial law, all of that, man. It's all in the scriptures, and you can see them making their moves. So now that we know what to look for, we can see all these moves being made. We know that it's the very same time when the highest will come.
It says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning.
That's right. We see all these earthquakes. Look what happened in California. Look what happened in Las Vegas. Major earthquakes. And they said California is due to hit another earthquake. Look at the wildfires down in the Amazon. Look at the uproars in China. The uproars in France has been going on. The uproars in Latin America. Here in Babylon, in America. It's not an isolated incident, but it's blacked out through regular media. You have to go through these alternative media sites, or you have to go to world news to find out a lot of this information. Because their goal here is to keep you docile. They don't want you to know what's really going on. Russia telling their people to prepare for war, but America's not. and Russia and America are the ones who are going to war. So what does that tell you? That they don't want you to be prepared. But that's our job, is to prepare our people. Really is to prepare the elect. So that's what we're doing. We come out here to the highways and the hedges to seal the elect.
It says, like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest.
That's right. Everything has a beginning and an end. You watch a movie, it has a beginning, as a climax, it has an ending. Alright, America had a beginning, alright, when the natives came over here, then the so-called white man came over here. Alright, it had its climax probably like the Roaring 20s, well, before the Roaring 20s, what was it called? Where it got all the industries and like Ford and
Not industrial.
the Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution. That was the climax of America when it was at its greatest.
You said you mentioned it came through war, right? The Industrial Revolution. It's like the Industrial Revolution came there through war. That's where all that, when they had to do mass producing, you know, and those factories came about.
Yeah, because they had to, like the brother was saying, they had to produce the tanks, they had to produce all these vehicles, so there had to be somebody to make it. You can't go to your enemy to make armored vehicles for you. So that's how you get all these different companies that's still here today. And that's when America was on the rise. But now, you get a dollar bag of chips, it used to cost 25 cents when I was a kid. That's America's on the decline, that's going down. Its financial system is going down, the bridges, all the streets are crumbling.
It's like they paying for all they cheap, they cheap shortcuts that they took,
Right.
Let's take away gold so we can just give them paper, but you're paying for it at the end,
Exactly. For every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction.
Says, even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works, and endings in signs and effects and signs, and every one that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works.
Read that one more time. Everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to what?
And shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed.
That's right. You got to be saved by faith and by works. You can't just have one or the other. You got to be actually out here doing this, putting your best foot forward, showing that you want this. You can't just say, oh, well, I know I'm an Israelite, God know my heart. Yeah, that's good faith, but you got to have works to back up that faith, man. You got to show that you want this, man. It's like everybody just got cut today in the NFL. You had to cut down that 53-man roster. You want to make that 53-man roster, there's 144 roster. You got to show that you want it. You got to show that you can. You got to work hard. You got to study the playbook. And when it's game time, you got to perform. That's doing lessons. That's being out here teaching the word. That's doing your homework, studying. Putting actual time in, showing that you want this, that it's not a game, that you're sincere, that you have a fervent love for this truth.
It says, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders.
Right. Shall be saved from the said perils. What are those said perils? Famine. The stores only have 3 days worth of food. So in a crisis situation, they're gonna hit those stores. That food's gonna be gone that same day. And then what happens after those 3 days? Then you have mass chaos. So that's when everything else pops off. From there, you have martial law. It ain't nothing for the president to enact martial law. Pestilence. When you don't have food, or when everybody's in chaos like that, and there's no medical treatment readily available, diseases arise. When there's garbage everywhere, diseases arise. When there's dead bodies in the streets, that's where you get all these diseases from. That's why the Lord set up different birds of prey to eat the dead flesh to keep all the diseases out. But there ain't gonna be enough condors and turkey vultures and this, that, and the third in that day to eat all the dead bodies that's gonna be out here, man. It's gonna be like a slaughterhouse.
Amos 5:18. Woe to you that desire the day of the Lord.
Right, woe to you that desire the day of the Lord. Because like I said, a lot of people, oh, the Lord know my heart, we're going to see in that day. You know, you don't want to see in that day. The scriptures say to make your calling of election sure. That's putting in work. You can't be sure. But
give diligence to make it, you know, like, if you're going to just sit there and do nothing and you want to wait until that day, that's not giving diligence, man. All right? Because obviously, it's giving diligence and doing the right thing. Striving for salvation. Fight. You know what I'm saying? The Lord's not just going to give us the kingdom. The Lord's not just going to give us salvation, man. You have to prove yourself. That's why I said you're going to be tested in the furnace of adversity, man. All right? Tried as gold. All right? And gold is tried, is brought through the fire to get all the impurities out of it. The Lord not just gonna give us the kingdom, and we gotta get rid of this flesh, all right? So like I said, in a twinkling of an eye, we gonna change into those other bodies because this flesh can't inherit the kingdom, man. He's preparing us for that cleansing, okay? It says, woe to you that desire the day of the Lord, to what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
That's right, it's not gonna be pretty out here. Or it's not going to be like the so-called Christians think that they just get beamed up, or the Lord come and call them and everybody else is left behind.
The rapture.
Right, the rapture. That's not scriptural, okay? Jacob's trouble, that's scriptural. A time that never was before. It's something that you've never been through and never will have to go through again.
And it's a reason why it's going to be a time like never before, because this is the end all be all.
Like the brothers read in Ezra's. There's a beginning and the end. This is the end of Esau's movie. And it's the beginning of our movie.
As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him.
That's right, man. You're gonna have troubles on all fronts. You might have your neighbor trying to get into your house. You might have martial law down the street. You might not have no food. You might get sick. Your daughter might get sick. And then she contaminate everybody else. We don't know. But we do know that there are so many different ways that you can get caught up in that day. It's best to have YAHAWASHI on your side and to give that diligence. Put in the work now.
And like the brother had mentioned earlier, like, you know, he had brought up a situation that happened. They're like, well, what you gonna do when this? He's like, I'm gonna go with the spirit. Like, that's what you're gonna have to go off of. This is not, no, you can sit there and draw out a whole plan. Like, that's pointless, because it says if you're not in the house, don't even go back to the house, man. So if your plan started with you being at the house, your plan is already messed up. You can't plan. All you can do is prepare, man. Okay, you can't plan for what you're gonna do and how you're gonna do it. You don't know. Shit, you might be asleep and martial law kick in your door and throw you in a concentration camp. But while everybody else is out and about, you locked up in a concentration camp.
And they don't even know.
Did you have a breakout plan just in case you went there? Like, you gotta put all your trust in YAHAWASHI. Like it said, the day of the Lord is darkness and not light. All right?
Hey, to add to what you were saying, you can make plans, but it's a whole different ball game when you actually, when you're in the field.
Yeah.
You know, hey, just like the brother always says, I'm gonna do this, and, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna chop. But when that time comes, you ain't nowhere to be found, man. Balled off in the corner, spooked out, man.
Like the brother mentioned the other day, if you can't handle the small things now, how you gonna handle the big things later? You know? You can't be disciplined enough to do this or do that. How you think you just gonna go gun-ho and be, you know what I'm saying, Ultimate Warrior style on them?
Right.
Martial law kick in, you dodging booty tang and shit. Like, nah, man.
But you used to being a couch potato, you know what I'm saying, sitting down all day. Your spirit ain't up for it. You ain't got the muscle memory for it. You just gonna get overcome.
Sirach chapter 5 verse 15, be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or small.
That's right, man. Little victories count, man. You getting up and say, man, I'm gonna run today. That's a small victory. But it counts, man, because all those little victories add up to a big victory, man. Resisting temptation. It's a small victory. Okay, you won that day. But you got a whole week. You got 6 more battles. You got to get up for them too. Those little victories are going to be adding up to a big victory, man. It says don't be ignorant of anything little or small or great. All right? That's why knowing the process is so important, so you know what to look for. Something as small as a law passing, or something as big as a war breaking out. Everything has its purpose.
Isaiah 33 verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure.
Wisdom and knowledge, man. Knowing what's going on and knowing how to apply knowing what's going on first, and then knowing how to react to it and applying the knowledge that you got and reacting properly to it. That's the strength of salvation, man. It says the fear of the Lord is his treasure. Because we don't fear what man can do to us, all right? But we fear the Most High. We have a deep respect for the Most High.
It's stability, it's an act of being firm, being grounded, right? So, just like the brother's going into, and when no time comes, everything that you learned along the way, that's what's going to be the catalyst, whether you're going to make it through Jacob's trouble or not. Because if you on the forefront, got all this knowledge, but you truly ain't grounded, you ain't really studying, you're not retaining. And then when the time of Jacob's trouble comes, you don't know what to do because you ain't really retained the scriptures that you've been reading when you had time, man. You was probably caught up doing something else, or just not taking the scriptures seriously. And that's why I said in the book of Thessalonians, that's why the day is going to come as a thief in the night. It's not going to be a day of night unto those who actually fear the Most High, man. Because they're going to have that light. They're going to have that knowledge that YAHAWASHI put in them to be able to make it in them times, man.
Revelation chapter 21 and 7. He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his power, and he shall be my son. But the fearful, unbelieving, and the abominable, and murderers, and whoremongers, and sorcerers, and idolaters, and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burns with fire and brimstone, which is the second death.
That's right, 2 different paths that you can go down, man. Overcoming, getting the victory, or falling victim to your own lust and being destroyed. And it's easy to go down one or the other, because the Lord's laws, the Most High's laws are not grievous. And they're plain. It's obvious. Do this, don't do that. But we in this flesh, you might want to do that you're not supposed to do.
Right.
Exactly. But that's what we talk about, them small victories, man.
I got it. This is oh, you give me that copy?
Yeah.
This is Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 19:1. It says, a laboring man that is given to drunkenness shall not be rich. Meaning what? Like if you working, you know what I'm saying, but you wasting all what you bringing in because you're giving over to drunkenness. You're not investing. Okay, so that's like what? Us reading, studying, but not applying it. You're doing it for nothing, man. All right, and you're doing it in vain. Okay, and it goes down and says, and he that contenteth small things shall fall by little and little. Meaning what? Those small victories. If you put aside those small victories, you're not going to be able to build up to the bigger victories. Nobody just gets in a ring and fight with Mayweather without having no fight history. All right, you gotta prove your worth, man. You gotta show that you're worthy in a sense, man. All right, so when you can't reject those small things. All right, like the brother said, you have small matters of temptation. You gotta fight through that. You gotta endure through that. So when the chip come and you ain't ate in 3-4 days, but they saying if you take this microchip, we'll give you some food. You know what I'm saying? But you know that the scriptures say don't take it. If you couldn't resist temptation then, how you gonna resist it at that moment when it matters most, man? So the little things count. All right, like the brother brought out, no small thing or great thing. You know, oh, that's small, man. That don't matter. Like all of that matters because it concerns your soul, man. That was a good one.
2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 7. I saw that. I mean, it goes back, but I just want to get the point. It says, ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. Right? But I'm going to go back and get at verse 1. It says, 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truth breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure, more than lovers of the Most High, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof, from such turn away.
It said having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. Right, people, man, faking the funk. You know, they put on these garments, but they only wearing the garments on Saturday. When they come to the camp, man, this is a 24/7 thing, 365. You're not an Israelite when you come to camp or you're on camera. An Israelite is someone that's within. Your spirit got to be in the spirit of Hebrew Israelite. Whether you around Akim, whether you at home, whether you around your woman, it's still standards that you got to live up to. It's laws that are regulated that you still have to abide by.
Okay. Verse 6. For this sort are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women laden with sins, led away